you know, it's always those things that end up driving us crazy about somebody that we fell in love with in the first place, right? He is a very forgiving person. He is a very kind person, very thoughtful, extremely thoughtful, and just very accepting of people's differences. You know, I wouldn't say he's apathetic, but he does kind of have that mentality sometimes, like, so what? You know, shrug the shoulders, whatever, you know? And, but he's in no way apathetic, because he is very passionate about certain things. You know, I see it more when he comes home and tells me stories about work and stuff, and that because there's a guy at work who's just like me, you know, who reads all the same things I've read and sees all the same things that I see, and like, you know, so he gets into this stuff with people at work, but around me, he doesn't so much, because I tend to be the one that quote unquote knows more about this stuff. So he's just very patient. He just lets me talk, right? So that is something that I love so much about Eric, is that he has that acceptance for other people. And I'm trying very hard to open my mind a lot more in that respect. And so let's try that today. You know, I realize that it may be difficult, especially for those of us who are awake and aware to certain things. Again, thank you, Carrie Cassidy, for that great phrase, awake and aware. So, you know, that may be very, very difficult for us sometimes. Obviously it is, right? But at the end of the day, we can find something in common with somebody. It's just like striking up a conversation with somebody at the grocery store. You know, more than likely, you're not going to exchange phone numbers and get together for lunch. But it's that love and that acceptance for other people that I'm working so hard on. Sometimes it's very easy, and sometimes it is a great struggle, because I have, you know, it's like anything. Once you have a mega awakening towards anything that has helped to change your life, you're telling everybody about it. You know, when I found raw food and being a raw foodist, I was telling everybody. It's like, you got to do this. It is the thing. It is the thing that, and actually I stand by that it is one of the best things we could possibly do to our bodies. I don't recommend it for a very, very long, long time. I don't recommend it for years and years and years to be raw vegan, but it is excellent to clean things out for 3 months, for 6 months, even for a year, if that's what you really want to do. And then slowly bring cooked foods back in, and slowly bring meat back in a little bit. I don't think we need to eat meat. I mean, this is a topic for another show. I don't think we need to eat meat. But considering most of us, from, you know, as soon as we were eating solid food, we were being given meat. We've been indoctrinated into that as well, you know, but we can drop meat anytime we want. You know, just the same as we can drop smoking anytime we want, and we can drop junk food anytime we want, and we can drop alcohol anytime we want. But that's where the choice comes in, right? That's where you have to decide. But, you know, I did that with raw food. I did that with my mega awakening almost 3 years ago. And I still stand by those things, because they have changed my life. I had a great conversation Monday, with a good friend of mine, and because I was visiting her. And, we were talking about conversations with God, and she hasn't read the whole 3-part series, but she has read a little bit of the 3rd book. And if you know anything about the books, the 1st book is about personal issues, relationships. The 2nd book is more about global issues, you know, things that are happening around the world. And then the 3rd is about intergalactic, extraterrestrial, advanced civilizations, that sort of thing. And so she read a little bit about the 3rd book, a very little bit, and wasn't connecting to it. But her being respectful of how I felt about it, you know, I was respectful first, in not like I was here first, but like I was respectful to her first, because she was talking first about her feelings that she got a very dark energy attached to it, and that sort of thing. And I listened, and I was very accepting of it, and I was very open to it. And then she said, well, what do you think? I want to hear what you think about it. And I thought that was fabulous, because so often we just impede our own We just impede our own opinions. Well, I think it's this way, and don't bother to ask. And she is very thoughtful in that sense. So she asked me what I thought, and I said, well, actually, the book has completely changed my life. Reading the book was a mega awakening for me. It really opened up parts of my brain that have been dormant for a while, and or a little sleepier at least than it should be, because I've always been interested in spirituality and had that connection with God, with the universe, with the source, with the all that is, with life, with love, with light, So, but it was wonderful because we have two differing opinions that are basically opposite. And we showed respect and acceptance for the other person's opinion. And this is how I'm practicing it more and more and more. Is keeping my opinions, unless it's absolutely necessary, more to myself. Sometimes you can't. I've had debates with people on Facebook, and I'm not a dramatic person in any way, shape, or form. I'm all for people holding hands and singing songs and getting on, and nobody fighting, and just having a gay old time, seriously. But I got into it with someone the other day who was just quoting scripture and saying it was proof and all this other stuff. And of course, this just put me in a, it's hard for me to accept that. So I have to say something like, well, okay, well, you're saying proof and history, that you believe in proof and history, but you're quoting scripture from the Quran. Yeah. No thanks. So, which is in no way me saying that. I am not trying to belittle anybody who is Muslim or believes any of the Islamic traditions or ideas. Just as even though I am anti-religion, I am not, and I am anti-Christianity, I am anti-Catholicism, I am anti-Jehovah's Witnessism, but I am trying very hard to stop letting the group represent the person. And this is what we get into in stereotypes, because I was telling you that story and I totally forgot. So I'm going to tell you the story and then we're going to close. So the whole thing with my partner's family, the maternal side of his family, is that the Jehovah's Witness, and his mom, I've like in the first year or whatever, I had choice things to say about it. She repressed you. Why do you give her the time of day? Why bother? It's just not worth it. What you need to do is get away from these people. And in a sense, I still do believe that. But what's really amazing to me is that there was this one day about 2 years ago that I went grocery shopping by myself. And I wasn't wearing my glasses. And for anyone that knows me, I am what is considered, I guess it's considered nearsighted, that I have more trouble seeing far away than I do seeing close up. And so I wasn't wearing my glasses and I was shopping and I was picking out some bread for Eric's lunch. And so I see this couple, maybe like 50, 60 feet away from me. And I am not all the time completely sensitive to auras. I'm always very sensitive to energy. To the energy that someone brings into a room. But aura's not as much. And I saw this person, this woman, from like 50, 60 feet away without my glasses. And from that far away, I felt this incredible energy coming off this woman. This, a beautiful energy, like just love and openness and kindness and thoughtfulness. And to me, she even looked pregnant, and because I felt that pregnant feeling. And I've never been pregnant. Well, I may have been pregnant and lost it quite a few times, but I've never been officially pregnant, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I'm seeing this person from across the grocery store, and the luminous, incredible energy that was coming off her, just it was mind illuminating. And I just felt like, wow, that feeling where you just really want to be close to that person, and you want to be held by that person, and you want to connect, and you want to feel what I like to call that God moment, where you're so connected to everything in the universe, and you realize your importance, and you realize how you are knitted into the fabric, of the universe, and how without you, there'd be holes in the sweater, if you like that analogy. So I get closer and closer to these people, and I'm still watching this woman, and I get closer and closer, and about 20 feet, I'm like, oh my God, that's Eric's parents. So it was this amazing thing where, I had choice. I didn't really say anything negative. What I was saying about her for the first year or so was very factual. It's obvious, it's logic. When you repress somebody, they are not free to explore their own creativity, their own sexuality, their own sensuality, their own passions, anything. And, we see that in any kind of relationship, parent to child, husband to wife, wife to husband, sister to brother, brother to sister, whatever. You see it in even like boss to employee, So we see it all over the place. We see repression that happens. And so what I was saying was very factual about her. But then I see this being who literally is just this being of light. And she was so beautiful. And I just wanted to be with her. I wanted to be in her sphere, in her auric sphere. I wanted to be as close to her as possible. And then when I get closer and closer and I'm like, hi, because it was Eric's mother. So I think, because I'm definitely closing the show now at 85 minutes. I think what it definitely is coming down to is me realizing that even those who seem like you have the scale of quote unquote good versus evil, right? Even those who are incredibly nefarious, those who have taken so much of our power away because we have given it away. Even those will go home and kiss their wives and all of that. They still have love in their hearts. That's what I really believe. And on, of course, much closer to the middle is someone like Eric's mother, who is maybe has the best intentions by trying to put somebody into the religion that she's been indoctrinated into. But unfortunately, obviously, when you're way outside of it, you see, ooh, that's not healthy for anybody. And especially because of the separation that happens, and so it was a really, really incredible experience for me to go through that and to see her as this incredible light being and to have that pregnant glow, almost like she was carrying a baby and carrying life, really. And it made me realize that we're all carrying life in some way. We are all carrying our lights with us. The only issue is that some people hide them beneath layers and layers and layers and layers of bullshit, right? And other people, like I say, bring their light to the party, like my friend BB, who just lets the light shine, and it's everywhere and it permeates everything. She's a portal, that one, as far as I'm concerned. So we need to accept each other. This is where I'm coming from today. And I hope that this show has also helped you to understand a little bit more about me, and where I come from, and that where some of my difficulties have lied, whatever, were throughout my life, and why I'm here now. Maybe this will help open the door a little bit in explaining why it is I've come to this place, not geographically, but metaphysically. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you. If you've listened to one show, if you've listened to all 6, if you've listened to 5 minutes of a show, your support means so much to me. And I am so happy that we get to share this experience together. And if there's someone in my personal life, if I've ever given you the feeling that I have put up a blockade because I can't relate, I'm very sorry. I'm incredibly sorry, because the amount of amazingness and goodness and fabulousness and light and power that is within every single one of us and every single one of you, and in myself, is incredible. And I, just like the saying namaste, I recognize the light in you that recognizes the light in me, that sort of thing, and